Delano Kilo is joining me now in Nairobi studios. He is a security analyst based here in Nairobi. Delano, thank you. We do understand that the IEBC is within its mandate to announce those results in about 7 days as far as releasing the results are concerned. So what exactly is the anxiety about these results?
Thank you, Beatrice. First of all, the anxiety is simply because the opposition have raised up a yellow card to say, hold on, we're not very sure that the results that you want to announce have been verified completely and thoroughly, and would like to take a relook at those. So the IEBC is indeed within its mandate to announce the results if they have received all the results, but they're also required by law to carry out a transparent session for the entire electoral voting process and be able to have access for agents from both the current ruling party or the former ruling party in the last regime and the opposition party candidates. So the bone of contention has risen simply because there's a lack of visibility that the opposition has raised as one of the reasons why they do not want to endorse what is widely expected to be the appointment again of the incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta in the next couple of minutes by the IEBC as the president-elect.
In the meantime, though, while all this is going on, we've seen business operations in many major cities in Kenya come to a standstill. Some have gone back to work, but a large majority are still staying away from businesses, and business operations are suffering here. So people are yet to go back to work. Why is this, though?
You see, from a security perspective, trauma is one of the biggest injuries that human beings can go through. And in terms of trauma, because of Kenya's previous history, quite a number of Kenyans are traumatized whenever the issue of an election comes up. And that could be one of the reasons, because the perception is that I'm not comfortable. Last time there was a presidential result announced, it caused me some pain, some suffering, or my relative or my friend was involved in this. And so some of those fears are not tangible fears, they're perceptions. Now, perception is not reality. In security, we always look at an evidence-based approach. And in terms of the security situation in the country, there are 180,000 uniformed officers currently manning guard duty around the country 24/7. And there's a lot of technology that has been put in place to ensure that we do not have a repeat of post-election violence. So there is really no cause for alarm for the ordinary Kenyan. Of course, that does still call for a lot of calm and peace, and that if there are any further disputes following this announcement, then it's actually up to whoever is feeling that they have not been served correctly to take it to the courts, and the courts are ready then to serve and hear whatever the complaint is, and then that will be resolved at that particular point in time. So Kenyans have been going through this issue of that trauma, and a lot of Kenyans are saying because they're not so sure what they're going to find out there, they're not daring to venture out of their homes, they're not opening up their businesses, and that has had an impact or a negative impact on the economy, because it has slowed down the economy over this week of the Kenyan elections.
Right. But this has been a very competitive election. Of course, the incumbent President Uhuru Kenyatta getting over 8 million votes as they come streaming in, and the opposition candidate Raila Odinga getting over 6 million votes as they come streaming in. It is a country of 45 million people. It has a lot of challenges. What needs urgent addressing here?
Urgent addressing from a security perspective is one. Let's go back to the Kenya we all know. Part of the words of the national anthem are that Kenya really does reserve honor, does deserve the respect from each of its citizens. So there will be a need for cohesion, and the elected leaders will need to come very quickly to the table and stretch forth their hands and welcome in the opposition to work together so that the nation does come together as one. The vote, as you have correctly mentioned, is between 40 to 50-something%, and it does mean that to bring and bridge that divide, very quick action needs to take place in order for the reaching out of the hands of friendship and of unity, not only to the opposition and between the ruling party, but also to every single Kenyan, so that we come together very quickly as a nation. Apart from that, very quickly, a number of what we call the election promises that have been made in order for the new government to take its seat will need to be put in place. There needs to be demonstrable progress in terms of that once the new president is sworn in and once the new cabinet and governors and members of parliament do come into place. Healthcare issues will need to be addressed. Education issues, infrastructure issues. There's quite a number of issues that have been promised as immediate resolutions. And of course, Kenya is expecting that its economy will move forward positively. So primarily, one of the other things that almost everybody forgets about, because when there's no issues, people forget about it, is security. Security is a big concern, and the terrorism issue has not gone away, global terror threat. So that will need to be addressed almost immediately as well. Thank you.
All right, Delano Kilo, thank you very much. We'll leave it there for the moment.